I'm actually scheduled on live and coming on live at the right damn time, not late. Write it down.
Yeah.
But
Let's see.
Yeah, I don't have nobody coming in yet, but I don't know if anybody will show up. If they don't, oh well. We can hang out, work on
Middle
tiny
of the
truck.
week, you know.
Yep. Hold on for a minute, because I forgot. I probably don't want to be doing this right on camera anymore.
Just throw me up there by myself, huh?
Yeah, I'll put you up there, buddy. You can be the face of WB Rednecks RS live stream today. How about that?
Nah.
Why?
I can't do that.
What's up, Fanatic? What's going on, man? What you doing? Sorry, I'll get back on the screen here.
Yeah.
Culture, what's up, man?
What's going on, fellas?
I want to go back to. Oh, all I gotta do that. I'm learning. Hey,
Yeah.
got a digital guy in this damn or analog guy in this digital world. I'm learning.
Yeah.
What are you doing, Crawler Culture? What's up, RC Fanatic? How are you all this evening? Well, we're not working on crawlers today. We're working on speed buggies. WL Toys 124017. I forgot to put in 2 of the. What's up, Jeremy T? If links up there, guys, if you all want to jump on, you're more than welcome. Diesel, shut up. You've aggravated me enough today, sir. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me put him wherever that go. Wherever you want to go, but I'm not going to listen to it. Go.
Man, I'm yawning my ass off. Middle of the week's drained me already.
What is it?
Said the middle of the week has drained me already.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. Yeah, I know, right? Crawler, you're always working on these things because the daggone things, screws come out of them or something. Ooh, that's pretty cool. That was cool too. I'm playing with my lights. Sorry. Yeah, speed buggy. Yeah. I mean, it's, I'm real unique on my names a lot of times, except for that one. I got my Arlo Omni Terminator. That's the turtle-ator. Rustbucket. That's the Gen 7 P-Max. Painting my axe. That's my X24. But speed buggy, it just seemed right. And if any of y'all are friends with me on Facebook, I posted the speed buggy cartoon like 3 days ago, the old Looney Tunes cartoon where you got the taxi cab and he has the son, and his son don't want to be a taxi cab, he wants to be the hot rod driver or race car.
Yeah. I remember that.
Where I got that from, and he's got that little squirrel tail and shit. One of my favorite cartoons of all time, of course. But
That was a long time ago.
use only.
So that was a long time ago that I've seen that.
Oh, dude, it was before probably everybody in the chat and me and you combined were all, born. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Hey, Culture, really? You got 50? That's awesome, dude. What's up, Sleep? If it's the link's not in the chat, if somebody wants to jump on, let me know and I'll put it in there. Well, here, I'll just do this.
Oh yeah, it's still up at the top.
Right,
there's not that many comments.
A lot of times that, like, if you get on, like, after it comes up, I've noticed that I'm not able to find them all the time, and I don't know if it's because I'm on the computer whenever I'm on the phone, or if it's whenever I'm on the computer. Really, to tell you the truth,
I think it's just got something to do with how fast a chat's gone and stuff. Because
right,
you get off and get back on. I think you can only scroll back like 50 comments at most.
Oh, okay. That's good to know. Got a new wrinkle in the squishy stuff between my ears. Thank you, Alex. But, yeah, hadn't been on much. I ain't been feeling real good and stuff. And hadn't done a whole lot, you know, outside because it's freaking cold, man. And my hands were it's some kind, it's not a disease, but it's a condition where whenever it's under a certain degree, circulation from my second knuckle up cuts off to my hands. My hands go white. I mean white, and they hurt. Hurts like you got a 15,000 hot poking needles poking in them at one time, and then they want to lock up, which I know that part's arthritis. But man, it hurts so bad, and I mean, I can't even go outside for 10 minutes, and they're like this, you know. So I don't know what it is. It's supposedly a condition that's passed down through the maternal side of the bloodline. So my grandma had it, my mom's sister had it, and mom has it now. I guess I've had it all my life. I just didn't know what it was. And then being a dish man for 15 years, you know, stick my hands in that hot ass water didn't help none either. But yeah, I mean, like right there, see how wrinkly they are? Look like they've been in daggone water. You know, like your hands sprinkle up whenever you get in water. It's what they do, and they turn that white. You know, everybody else's hands turn red and flush because of, you know, blood flowing to them because they're getting cold. My hands go white because they're not getting any damn blood to them. So, you know, that's the reason I don't get much done whenever it's cold outside. Been busy, Sleek. What you been doing? Hey, look there. There's that squirter guy. That guy that squirts parts. Hey, buddy, I got a soundboard and everything, son. You talk about high-tech redneck. Yeah, boy. Thank you, Bopper, if you're on here trolling there, bud, not saying nothing. He's the one that's helped me get a lot of the stuff for doing this, you know, my camera, and he got me the soundboard and those two wireless mics. What? Pamela, get tired of you whining too?
Hey, you went outside, and then he ate, and then he
Hold
came
on.
over to the door.
Well, I just took him outside like 10 minutes ago. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Mom letting dog in. High-tech redneck. That's right, RC fanatic. You bet it.
Oh.
How you been doing, Eric? You been doing all right, brother? Something I was going to ask you about, Eric, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, that new buggy chassis. I see that you put more shock mounts on the back of it. I like that. Yep, I like that. That's what I was talking about being able to hook it up to where I can make a mini bouncer. Yeah. Get up there and lay down, or I'm going to knock the hair off you nuts. Yeah. You hear? Alex laughed at you because I'm going to knock the hair off you nuts. But no, I'm sitting there hitting that there real quick. My head's killing me. Where I'm trying to quit smoking. I'm not doing great at it. Yeah. More shock options is always a plus. I'm doing okay. I've only bought 2 packs of cigarettes since the first of the year.
That's good.
You know, I ain't quit, but I'm getting there. And you going from a pack and a half to 2 packs a day down to 0 cigarettes. It's a little rough. I've quit everything I've ever quit cold turkey, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to on this. You know what I mean? I've been smoking since I was 13 years old, so that's 34 years of smoking. So, you know, everything else I'd done, I hadn't done that long. It'd been like half that time.
Yeah.
But
I had ended up quitting for like 5 years, but then moved out to Colorado and dealt with the job I got to deal with. So I was like, nope, I'm starting to smoke again.
Well, I understand, but I have actually quit twice in my life. It wasn't because I wanted to. I had take a 2-week stay at the Regional Hyatt Hotel up here, you know, twice in just over a month and a half, and you know you can't smoke in the jail system, you know. And I'd been there for 2 weeks each time. First thing I did as soon as I walked out of that place was lit up 2 cigarettes at once, like an idiot. I'd already quit. You know what I mean? I was over the hump.
Yeah.
Stupid. That's all there is to say about it. You know,
I don't know if you necessarily ever really get over the hump because, I mean, like I say, the one good time I did quit, I quit for 5 years and
yeah, that's
I went
totally
right back to it.
you did screw up there. I mean, that by starting back over. I mean, but I understand cigarettes do help with stress, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it is what it is. Man, I gotta find a screw for this thing that I'm not gonna be able to find. It may be on another truck. uh,
Well, like they say, it's always going to be the last place you look for it.
yep, I know, right? And I tend to put stuff. Well, I mean, I got paper plates with build parts on them. I got a hot water tank tray that you put under it with parts on it. I got a big igloo cooler with parts in it. I got my tool bag with parts in it. I've got, oh yeah, one of them big trays that you use like for party, you know, for your veggie tray, one big aluminum trays. I got one of them with parts on it. I got this table with parts on it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, if I had something that was daggone actually no, I'm not doing that right now. I ain't doing a damn update in the middle of a live. What are you talking about? News, bitch.
Yeah.
But you know, oh, wait a minute. Where's that diff cover? I've got the other diff cover, and if I've got the other diff cover, it means I've got the screws that go with it. I'm telling you what, I never had you. Sure as hell can't go back up. What? Oh, okay. I thought something messing up on the computer.
It just looked like my screen protector over my camera was a little screwed up, so I figured I'd attempt to fix it
Oh, I got you.
or clean it anyway.
Where I happened to be moving at the same time you was doing that, I thought I was screwing up something. Okay. Not there. Diesel, you have my shit. You quit taking my shit and I'll put it back. Be right there, guys. Ah. Ah. It's got screw. Ah. Move. Move. Wrong way. We can go that way then. Ta-da. What the hell was that? Oh, well, it didn't come out of this bag. This bag's sealed and don't have any holes in it. And the screws are in another bag. But yeah, I guess whenever I put the diff cover back on this thing, I didn't put those two screws back in it that hold the control arm pins in it.
Dang.
And I had it out and drove it. Had a pack went through it and didn't see anything wrong with it. But then I pulled back up and I looked at it as I was pulling back up. I was like, oh shit. That's not supposed to do that. And I wondered why it had a little bit of wiggle to the wobble, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, WL toys, you know, that they're Phillips head hardware, you know, isn't the best in the world.
And never messed with the WL toys yet.
But they're not bad vehicles. It's just you got to make sure that you Loctite your stuff, you know, as always. And me learning and being a new guy and all that happiness. I went through and tightened up all the bolts and everything on this thing whenever I got it, but I missed the tie rod end bolts. And right here in front of my house, there's a little knoll in the road, and I was coming from down the hill up this way and showing Mom the truck. And right about the time it got to right where she was at, son, the right front tar and axle and everything left the chat. They said, about 30 feet up in the air because these little buggies on 2S out of the box do 45 mile an hour. Whatever 75 kilometers an hour is brought down to, or brought into mile per hour. I'm going to say 45, almost 50, something like that. And it was moving on, and it moved on, and it shot straight up in there about 30 feet. I was like, huh. Well, yeah, and it took me about an hour and a half to find the damn axle because it was dog bone.
Oh,
of course, it went, it came out. I went out there 2 or 3 times looking for it, couldn't find it. Neighbor pulled in right as I was back out there looking for it. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Looking for that piece right there that you just made me find." No shit. As soon as he said, "What are you doing?" I turned around and looked right down by my foot. And I'll be damned if it wasn't laying right there in the wide open, like I just laid it there.
dang.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, I still haven't got used to any RC cars with a little bit of speed. Of course, I haven't really messed with much yet. Messed with Gabe's a little bit, but
I'll tell you
he's
what.
still learning his on his own also because that trainer bumper, I don't know if you could tell how tore up that thing is.
Yeah. What's he got there?
That's his little Rolarla.
Oh, okay. It's the X12 or
No,
whatever the X12 predecessor is.
it's a 14th scale, but I can't remember the number
14th.
designations, but on the box it doesn't even say Rolarlo, it just says Amarillo.
Oh, it's an Amarillo. Okay. That's the other brand of Rolarlo. But that right there, actually, take the top off of that, the body off of that truck, if you don't mind. I'll bet you we're looking at the same truck because Rolarlo and WL Toys have been known to use the same chassis and stuff.
See, I don't know if you can tell what chassis that is.
Flip it over. Yeah, that's actually this one. That's a WL Toys 1270 or 124019, which is this is based off of. Yep. I'll show you right here in a second since I put these screws back in this bag. Hopefully without dropping them all. And yeah, they're the that's the one I thought it was. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know much about it.
Dude, they're great. They come with like a little 2200 milliamp 2S battery.
I think this one's a 1800 from what it looks like.
Okay, well I'm pretty sure they're the same damn buggy. Hold on. This one has a metal chassis, but that don't always mean anything. But it's taken apart at the moment. But
Yeah.
see there, the motor sits right here. Battery goes right here. Moved. What did I move? I moved something over to where it's out of the way, but you can see by the I got bigger tires and shit on it too. But right here on the control arms, look at the control arms, you can tell they're the same.
Yeah, that looks like the same chassis plate for sure.
Yeah. That pucker's fast, dude. If it's anything like this one, it's fast.
Oh yeah, this little sucker is fast.
Yeah, and it wants to ass end wants to pass the front end out a lot too if you're not careful. That's the reason I'm putting that R7 whatever the number is on that that receiver you just got.
Oh yeah,
my favorite RC. All of them. Yeah, the R7G, whatever, the one with the gyro. I'm putting it in this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
It needs big time. My favorite RCs are all of them, Jeremy. I mean, Fanatic. I mean, I haven't found one yet that I dislike, except for the old ones that we used to have when we was kids, that you pushed the button and it went forward, or you pushed the button and it went back and turned and it had a wire hook to it. That's the only ones I didn't like, that had a wire hook to it.
As far as mine, I just like the crawlers for the most part anyway. I enjoy all of them, but I like the crawlers.
I spend more time with the crawlers. And I spend more time on the crawlers, but I do like speed, but I like the ability. What's up, Sabrina? I like the ability of making a car go up the side of a rock, you know, straight up and down, or, you know, doing the cool stuff that crawlers do. I like it. But I also like taking turtle-ator and letting her hit the launch ramp out here and doing double backflips too, you know.
Yeah.
That's
don't get me wrong.
a hard question, huh?
Yeah, I was about to say, just don't get me wrong. I mean, I enjoy jumping Gabe's a little bit, but small jumps. I don't want to send that thing 30, 40 feet in the air trying to do flips and crap.
That buggy's not made for it. It's not. That's why I bought this buggy, and I figured that out. See, this has got turtle-ator's tires on it. These tires are nowhere near what's supposed to be on this thing, because here is the stock wheel. It don't have a tire. Right there's the stock wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell. You know, there's a big difference, because the tires that are on these aren't but that much taller. You know, buggy tires, and these aren't bashers. These are racers, speed buggies. They are not made to bash.
Yeah.
Now you can buy parts for these on AliExpress. You can buy all the upgraded parts you want for $30 for the, you know, like the control arms, the steering bushing, or the diff covers, you know, stuff like that. And you get all metal upgrade parts if you want metal upgrade parts, which there's metal upgrade parts that should be used, in my opinion, and some of them should stay plastic, in my opinion, because if you've got all metal rigidity, it's either going to bend or break, and it's liable to break more stuff. If you've got plastic, it's going to bend and less chance of breaking, or whenever it does break, it may not break the important stuff, you know, the metal stuff.
Yeah.
So that's my train of thought on that. But yeah, this buggy and that buggy, no, they're not made to bash. And I actually haven't even really jumped this one. I made that one little short ramp I got out there. I think I took 2 4x4s, stuck them together, and then put a piece of plywood about that long on it. It's only about that tall, but I think I've taken it off. Would you shut up? I think I've taken it off of there like once or twice, but I've never hit it on the launch ramp. And this is the one I actually built the launch ramp for. I just didn't know that this wasn't a basher.
Yeah. Well,
and it's the reason I got turtle-ator, so I could bash the hell out of it.
Yeah. I know Gabe's definitely treated this thing a little bit like a basher.
Right.
Because every time he plays with it by himself, there's nothing but scrapes and scars all throughout those freaking lower skin.
That's the same tub. You're right. Yeah. I'd almost say it. I'd say that's what it is.
Yeah, well, from what my understanding is, as far as 14 scale, there is a lot of buggies and a lot of like trucks on that platform that they all share the exact same skid.
Well, and that's like the Hypergoat and the Bezgar, the Wild, those 14 scale bashers. They're all the JJRC and some of those. They're all running the same pretty much chassis, and they all run the same type motors and stuff. But now on these, I know that there's a lot of the buggies that run this chassis. You're right, and The thing is, they'll go from 10th to 14th or 16th scale, and they're all running the same daggone chassis. I'm like, well, y'all need to learn your scale or something here, fellas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's Megan at?
Oh, she's probably getting ready for bed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. She's got to go to work in the morning with me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That sucks. God, I'd have to live with you and have to work with you. I don't know if I'd do that.
I make a game out of it. Every time I see her driving around in a forklift, I yell at her to get to work and everything else.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
All of her coworkers are like, "How are you married to him? He's an ass." I'm like, "I don't care."
She says he's not an ass to me all the time. When he is,
I know. She'll sit there and tell him, "Yeah, I know he's an ass, but he's my ass."
I don't know, man. I'm sure her ass is a lot prettier than you.
I don't know.
I'm one to talk, all right. I'm pretty ugly, maybe.
The only thing I do know is my wife gave me a shirt probably about 15 years ago that says, "I'm the nicest asshole you'll ever meet."
I need one of those shirts because that's straight up. I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
Until I don't have to be. And then I'm the most vindictive, evil bitch in the world.
Yeah.
Right. So that one actually fit, but it's too long. Damn it.
Yeah, I find it funny just because I work at the same facility my wife does. There's people there that have never said hello to me, not even one word to me. And
Probably
they're definitely afraid of me because they know I'm her husband.
Sabrina in the chat says she knows her.
What?
Your wife, I guess.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Everybody knows Megan. It's Alex's old lady, you know. Nothing stock 83 and nothing stock 84. Yeah, I gotta mess with you.
Yeah.
Hey, I gotta mess with her, especially when she's not listening.
Yeah. Oh, I had to laugh my
evil B. Oh,
I had to laugh my ass off the other night when James hosted the Mofo Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
Whenever he passed that comment of, "Shit, at this point, I might as well be Alex's kid too." Because all my kids are getting on saying, "Hey, this is Alex's son."
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I remember. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, and I can't remember what I was going to tell on you about that night either, and I couldn't remember even whenever y'all got on there. I was like, "Oh shit!" I was going to tell on him about something. I can't remember what it was.
You did tell on me. I helped you tell on me.
Well, I knew that, but I mean, is that what it was over? I thought I may have told on you about something.
No, it was over that. I just can't remember the subject of it.
Right, I can't either.
Yeah, you started telling on me, and she was like, "What?" So I stepped in and I explained from A to B, and she was like, "Oh."
Right. But, you know, I kid, you know, and I ain't never going to rat somebody out on for real. Not like that. You know, not in that way. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I stick by the bro code. You know what I mean? But now I'll mess with you, you know, and tell your old lady on you for saying something goofy, you know. But the thing is, I won't tell on her to you either, you know.
Yeah.
I just say it ain't none of my business.
Yeah.
Well,
I've got nothing to hide from her, so
that's
everything that happens, I tell her, and you know,
that's
like
awesome to be able to have somebody like that you're able to do that with, because I thought I had that at one time, and I did have it at one time, just not in the same circumstance. But
yeah, I've done messed with people and messed with her so much that if I'm talking to a coworker about her, you know, letting them know something like, all right, she's about to make some more banana bread to sell.
Hey,
Yeah. I'll sit there and I'll talk to them about that. And then I'll tell her that, I told such and such you're about to have some more banana bread. And then I'll start continuing the conversation with her about,
Right.
I also told him that last night you punched me in the eye and I can't take my glasses off. And I got a black eye because she's just mean.
Oh, the evil bee, Sabrina, I hear you. I know how that is.
Oh, man. But,
And have you had to mess with anything on that buggy of his? Have you had to fix it or anything?
no, not yet. He hasn't bashed it that hard, I guess, but he's
Well,
bashed it kind of hard.
tell you, whenever you do, if you got to mess with the diffs, or happen to need to put these two screws in that I forgot to put in whenever I did the diff covers. Shit, I got to super glue it. You got to take out the motor, the center brace, the top, the front of the center brace mount, the center drive shaft, and the top of the diff cover has to come all the way off to where you can be able to just get to them two screws on the back because of how close the transmission gear is to it.
If he breaks anything on that, I might be in the freaking chat on Sleek's Live one day. Hey, I'm gonna send you this. Can you help me out?
Right, with a stiff left hook. Yeah, you're right, Sabrina. That's what I would have probably got. If I'd have said what you said, the best banana bread. I understand. I've been there. Let's see. But
there's even guys at work because I joke around so much. One guy, every time I talk to him, dude, you're an ass to your wife. I'm like, no, I'm not.
Yeah, Sabrina, you're right. They will sometimes. And they'll hit you a lot of times just because you're being stupid. And hi, I'm Nathan. Dub B, whatever you want to call me, because I'm stupid. So, back to the question I asked there a minute ago, what my favorite RCs are. The ones I don't have to work on, for one. The ones I haven't tore up yet, for one.
So none of them at your house?
I love them all. Except for whenever I had to work on them. Just like I am with a daggone regular 1-to-1.
Yeah.
They're all junk when you got to work on them. I don't care how much money you paid for them. Or what brand they are.
Yeah.
Oh, man. That scared me to death. I done thought somebody talked about me being a journalist. I'm like, no. Hell no. I'm going to have to say crawlers, not just mini crawlers, but crawlers in general. I love the speed. Don't get me wrong, and bashing and doing backflips and shit. But like I was saying a while ago, to be able to get something
I'll be right back.
all up the damn wall, basically, is pretty cool shit, in my opinion. So that being said, I'm going to say crawlers are my favorite.
You ought to have a drink somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sitting here with worst case cottonmouth man ever have and got a damn pop sitting up there.
Yeah.
Damn it, Bobby. I need another screwdriver, I reckon. That one ain't going to fit either.
As far as that little freaking buggy, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure eventually I'll understand how to work on it because I mean it took me probably about a good month and a half to understand the little SCX 24s.
It's taken me a year to do that. I learned these easier than I did the damn XCX 24. And it's all because there isn't a place to go for anybody new in the hobby to be able to go and ask questions and not get smart ass answers. Or if they don't think about going to searching it on YouTube, you know what I mean? Finding people like Skevy Skev, Jason, James, Rockwolf, all them guys like I was lucky to, and you was lucky enough to find, and
Yeah.
that will help you, you know. And that's the reason I'm thinking about doing a Facebook group and doing in the group, do it to, sorry, I'm reading. I hear you, Sabrina. And, well, if you go outside and work hard, you get dry mouth too. It's not only herbs, medicine.
It's not always the herbs that does it to you. You can get cotton mouth any way you want.
I'd love to be able to hear that. I got to get a set of headphones.
Yeah.
Go in there finally. I've got to get this place straightened up to where I can start filming in here and working in a non-chaotic environment, let's say.
Yeah.
Which then it wouldn't be mine, right?
No. I think that's the biggest thing I hate about having ADHD. Is ADHD you have like you're very organized, but you always have that one area of that one subject that's just like chaos. Period. That's your chaos area. And that's RC for me is my chaos area.
Well, I'm never really organized unless I have to be organized. Let's put it that way. And you know, having ADD, that you get a slight obsessive compulsive disorder in along with that. Well, I didn't know until recently that there's two sides of obsessive compulsive disorder. One of them is the neat freak, got to have everything perfect right all the time. And then there is the chaotic freak that I am. You know, if everything is arranged and put in way and neat and tidy, it overwhelms me.
Yeah.
I have a table, my coffee table. It always has junk scattered all over it. And I know where everything on that table is if I need it, you know, but it's never straight. And it's killed. I mean, it's just totally made some of the girls I've been with just want to totally strangle me. And it's not my fault, come to find out. I've been doing a lot more research on adult ADD lately, and come to find out that's one of the things that comes along with it. So
yeah. See, for me, I'm 180 degrees of that because
you gotta have everything.
Every girlfriend in my life and my ex-wife and my wife now, they all hate me because whenever I get to organizing my life the way I want, they're like, how could you live in this house? It looks like a magazine home.
It's too nice.
Yeah.
I could see that. Because if I go to that extreme, that's the way it is for me. It'll either be total chaos or perfect. A lot of times. I was not devastated. Would you quit talking about me? I've got to change this channel. I keep looking at the TV because it keeps saying Nathan.
Oh, dang.
And I'm so important that I know somebody, some whatever channel happened to come on YouTube after whatever I was just watching, come on and it starts talking about Nathan. I'm looking up like, well, I'm that important, y'all. Yeah. I ain't even got 200 subs yet. I'm at 196. I'm trying to
Getting
get there. I'm
closer?
trying to get 4 more. I'll be 200.
Well,
Yeah, I know that's no big thing on YouTube or anything, but it is to me because I never figured I'd make it past 20. And that's no lie. I never figured I'd ever make it past 20 subs. And I have. And I'm very happy about that.
well, heck, I don't do anything with my YouTube channel, and I've told everybody that, I've run across, don't worry about subbing to me because I'm not going to do anything with my YouTube. And somehow I'm probably about 15. Like, okay. I appreciate that y'all sub me back for me subbing y'all, but y'all don't have to.
Right. I hear you. That's awesome, Sabrina. I I'm not able to do that. I am well, it's bred into me anyway. Both my grandfathers were hoarders. So, I love to hoard. Hey, thanks, Gordon, man. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, sir. Appreciate all y'all coming in, stopping by and saying hi and everything. Really, I appreciate it because it always does work. He's so tough. Hey, my ex-wife used to sell garments that had been wore previously before I got with her. Well, she probably still was whenever I got with her. But I thought that was wild. Whenever she told me that, I was like, wow, really? People do that?
Damn.
All right. Well, I got those 2 screws in. Now let's see here. Ooh. Yeah, it's going to need some grease. I think. Oh, no, it's got grease. That's right. That's one thing I did do whenever I put this sucker back together. I did grease the hell out of it. I'll tell you what, that white lithium grease is the shizzle dizzle. It's not as cool as that udder butter that I hear everybody always talking about, but
Yeah.
I like this white lithium. I need to start paying attention whenever I take shit apart too. Because if not, I tend to forget to put stuff back together correctly, like I did on this one, and forget 2 screws. Why are you being a butthole? Ah, there we go. Trying to figure out why it didn't like its home. Why is that thing still loose? Okay, it's just waiting for everything else to get tightened down. Okay. Sorry, I'm talking to myself again.
Gotta figure it out some way.
Right. Heck yes, Brandon. Yeah, you gotta have 50 subs now. Oh yeah, Jason Earl can go live now. I think he finally hit 50 subs and hadn't even tried.
Dang.
Yeah, I thought that was cool. He was telling me earlier that he ended up or he was able to go live now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see if he's going to get that new CR18P, that Juice Up edition they just announced.
all the the one everybody was doing the reviews on today.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. I don't know. He just got that MT10.
Yeah.
He just got it in. I think it came in today. I don't know. He probably will because he loves them trucks, and I understand why. They're great trucks. They perform very well. But the next one I get, I'm not getting another one until in case he's in here stalking. Skevy Skev sends me my box. I ain't gonna mess with getting anything yet because I don't know what all he's liable to send me. I know he's sending me the Slayer, and that's the reason I hadn't started doing any of the other builds yet because I wanted to make sure to have the stuff for it whenever I got it.
Yeah.
Here you go. Better get you a few packs of socks. I go. But I've got all the stock stuff for the AX, the giveaway build.
Yeah.
And almost all of it. I'm waiting. Matt said he was sending me some of the stuff that I needed. The servos, like the stock servos, and the stock AX24 links.
Yeah.
I've got and a stock motor. I've got a stock motor, but I'm pretty sure it's burnt up. I need to check it to see.
Yeah.
And I've got I've got the stock ESC. Damn it, Bobby. That I did the waterproofing review on, or the waterproofing tutorial on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've got. I went ahead and decased it. Decased it and waterproofed it for whoever ends up getting it. I think that'll be one thing that's not. I got you surprised. Sorry, I was reading it. She said P. Diddy done ruined the damn baby oil. P. Diddy ruined a lot of stuff for a lot of people. I'm going. That's it. And that's all I have to say about that. I'm not going to go no farther. I'm going to behave. Man, I'm telling you what. There's 50 zillion screws you got to take out of this just to get to them two little screws.
Probably so.
Oh, dude, I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, counting the one I dropped. Yeah, 17 screws just to be able to put these two in it.
Dang.
Yeah. And that's what me and Earl was talking about a while ago was, sometimes stuff is just, it can be made so much simpler for people to work on. Yeah, all them screws. Yeah. But they don't. And I don't understand why they don't, I guess, is what I'm saying. That one will take those. Now I got to make sure.
I guess even in the RC hobby, freaking engineers don't like mechanics and mechanics don't like engineers.
And architects don't like installers. Oh man, and that was the thing about it. I'd get on the daggone. We'd be doing a siding job, And I'd get on the phone with the architect, be like, what in the world was you thinking? Have you ever tried to do it? Well, it works on a computer. I said, do you have any hands-on real life experience? No, but I'm an engineer. I went to school. I said, right, come on down here. I got some stuff I want to show you. And this was back before they had, smartphones and stuff. And he started this, and tried to act like he was smarter and better than me because he was an architect. And then I started spitting back the same stuff he was talking to me. Like, huh? Wait a minute. He said, well, how did you're just an old carpenter? How do you know what you're this, that, and the other? I'm like, dude, I've been taught to read a blueprint and how to draw a blueprint and mechanical drawings since I was 5 years old. So you're not just talking to some installer. I said, believe me, I can take this house from thought to completed home and do every bit of it myself. I said, so don't tell me. I said, I can go from the thought of it. I can put it down onto the ground, or I can put it on the blueprint paper. I can take the blueprint paper and I can put it on your ground, and I can take it from the ground. I can do your footers all the way up to your finish contract. And I said, don't play. I said, now, why in the world would you do something like you have done on this? There's no reason whatsoever why you should have let this come through, because it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Blamed it on a computer glitch. Or the computer did it and he didn't go over it well enough or something, you know what I mean?
No. Well, heck, for a pipe mill in Louisiana, I'm the sole reason why Caterpillar had to redesign pettibones for that pipe mill.
Really? Man, I'll tell you what, I like them pettibones. We had one with claws. I don't know if your all's had claws either, but
oh yeah. Yeah, this was carrying 80-foot joints of pipe. It had to have the claw.
Yeah. Our claws rotated 240. Our boom went in and out a bunch, and it went sideways a bunch, but there was a big red button sitting right in between your legs at the bottom of the console on them pettibones. It was the hinge. And they told me, they said, don't hit the red button, whatever you do. Well, I got out there driving and I was learning how to use the darn thing pretty good. And what do you do when they tell you not to hit the red button? You hit the fucking red button. I mean, come on, man. Took me an hour and 45 minutes to get that son of a bitch back up together right, and where I could get it locked back into where it was straight. But I learned how to drive it, and I did it,
Yeah. I made a lot of enemies at Caterpillar because of that. They had the main guy over Caterpillar called my boss, told my boss to tell me to slack off because his engineers were crying.
I've had that happen somewhat before. Walker Machinery is the big Caterpillar dealer here in West Virginia, and for all the mines and stuff. And my best friend growing up, his dad was the head mechanic for Walker Machinery Caterpillar. He worked on the biggest things Caterpillar ever made. Yeah. And that's where I used to get a lot of my daggone marine grease and all that stuff, heavy grease and just fluids and stuff for working on your cars. I'd just go up there to his house if I'd need something, because he'd always have it, Get in the hole.
I ain't gonna lie though, whenever I started off as a teenager in this industry, doing inspections on equipment, piping, all that other mess.
Right.
I took it literally whenever they said, if you gotta make people cry to get them to understand that they need to do something the right way, you do that. And I took that and ran with it.
Well, I do the best I can to not hurt anybody's feelings if there is a way to keep from it. But if there's no way to keep from it, I have been known to hurt a bunch of feelings.
Yeah.
Right. I hear you, Sabrina. I mean, I try to be nice and try to treat people the way I want to be treated, but I've been treated the way I've been treated so many damn different times that hell with it, you know?
Yeah.
Now what in the world? Oh, that's why. That's why that thing's still wobbly.
I never did get confirmation on that, but I think one engineer probably got fired.
Oh shit. Really?
Yeah. 'Cause
Because
I
they didn't know what
asked
they were
this
doing.
one engineer one question, and all it was is, do you know how much weight this petty bone is supposed to carry?
12,500, ain't it?
No, these carry 80,000 pounds of pipe.
Okay. So, okay, you're talking about the big hinged pettibone loader looking things with the big claws. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. That's what I was
The
thinking.
ones that make a freaking F-350 or 1-ton truck look like a little tiny Ford
Yeah,
Ranger
yeah,
or
yeah,
F-10.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's what we had
those
over.
big suckers.
Suckers still loose. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. And I had people tell me that they didn't make forklifts big enough for tractor trailer containers. I said, yes, they do.
They're called table stackers.
Yeah, and the only thing that picks up that whole container is them two little pyramid-looking thingies that go down in the top of them holes and twist and lock into that. So you got a 1/4 inch on each side of one of them, well, 1/2 inch, let's say, all the way around those little things. That's all that's holding them up whenever you pick them up. That's wild. I learned how to drive one of them in the junking too.
Yeah.
I mean, that's wild.
Yeah, I find it funny because whenever the table stacker wasn't able to go grab a Connex off the back of a truck,
Uh-huh.
my wife's actually had to be in a forklift and pull Connexes off the back of trucks.
Ooh, like a Select size forklift? Or are you talking about a freaking Yale fucking little inside forklift?
The name brand of them are called Calmars.
Yeah, okay,
and
I know what they are.
the ones that I think they use for that mostly, I think they call them 35Ks.
Okay, so it's got a little
Pretty
bit
good
bigger.
size.
It's got pneumatic tires on it. Then it don't have like hard tires like a regular fork truck inside of shipping.
No, it's
Yeah, Select fork truck is about the size of a regular size farm tractor. Matter of fact, they run groundhog mudders on their steering axle. Is what their steering axle tires are because they're off-road fork truck.
okay.
I think they do about 20,000, 35,000 pounds, something like that. 35 would be 8 ton. I mean, 34, 17 ton. So yeah, that's probably about right. Yeah. I learned how to run them too, and I learned how to run the little Yales and the Jeffords Court ones. That son bitch is still. Wow.
I'm just glad I get to laugh my ass off every day when my wife's at work, because you see this little short female out lifting and out working all these big old grown men that freaking think they're badasses.
Yeah. Dude, there was this little girl who used to work for that fucker to help make me with mom. She was this 4'10", maybe 85 pounds soaking wet, and she could outwork anybody. She rubbed snuff. I ain't never seen very many girls that rub snuff, but she rubbed snuff, and she wasn't no bigger than a daggone. She wasn't no bigger than a daggone little dragonfly. And by God, she'd outwork every damn man on the crew. Try to. Now she wasn't as strong as everybody. Hey, night, Jeremy. Thanks for stopping in, brother.
Have a good night, Jeremy.
But by God, she'd fucking work, son. And everybody like, well, how you handle working around a woman like that? I said, hey, I don't care if they got an intake or fucking daggone kickstand. As long as they can do the work, do the work. It don't matter what daggone parts you got. Yeah. And hey, I can quilt. I can decorate wedding cakes. I can cook any damn thing that you want cooked. I can, like I said, I can quilt. I can crochet. Oh yeah, I can also paint you ladies' nails too, without getting fingernail polish all over them. I grew up with a bunch of women, so I mean that's just what I had to learn whenever I was a kid is how to do girl stuff. There wasn't very many men around except for Papa, which that's who my real dad. That's who I call my dad. He's gone, but and very few other male figures in my life that tried to help, and so I learned to do what I did, and Grandma said I wasn't ever going to have to rely on a woman to eat because she taught me how to cook. She taught me how to cook. Yes, sir, Bob.
Yeah. I kind of know a little bit about where you're coming from because I had 2 older stepsisters.
Right. Well, I didn't really know them until I was 13. I was 11 whenever I met my youngest half sister, and I didn't meet her oldest sister until I was 14 or 15, I think. But I never had to deal with them much because they didn't grow up with me, so I didn't know them. But all my cousins were female until let's see, till Stephen was born, my cousin Ruthie's oldest son.
Yeah.
And he was so far younger than me that it wasn't no fun for me. I was wanting to be with my kids my age and shit.
Yeah.
But I hung around with the paternal half of my makings, wife at the time's dad, but my step grandpa, that I loved him to death. He taught me all kind of shit. He took me out black powder shooting and hunting and fishing and all that stuff. Same thing like Papa McCracken did. And, I got to run around with the old men. I was always running around with the old men. That's, I guess, how I learned so much about cool shit. Anyway, I guess I should say. See, that photo on top. I remember that.
I mean, heck, even for me going through school, I never hung around with my classmates. I always hung around with older people.
Right. Yeah, me too. There's a bunch of the boys that I hung out with. They were all older than me, really, by 5 years. I mean, they weren't even in school with me. You know what I mean? Like I was in junior high running around with the high school guys, and they all took me under their wing for some reason and liked me. I don't know why, but thank God they did because love every one of them for it because I was a very round, pudgy kid and I had a mouth. So I either had to be tough or learn to fight. It was a good thing I started off tough because them boys taught me to fight.
Yeah.
Ah, damn it, Bobby.
What'd you do?
I didn't do nothing. I don't know what you're talking about.
Sure.
This unit right here goes underneath my spur gear.
Okay.
That I truthfully don't see the reason that it has to be on there except for dust collector, dust eliminator. So it's not getting put back on. I mean, really, that's all it is to keep dirt and shit out of my gear mesh. So, really, somebody's outside and you didn't even bark. You didn't jump up and go look. You're fired. Normally, I'm yelling at him, telling him shut up, and sit down. Oh, I hear you. I like seeing the girls that hunt, Sabrina. I understand. I've got one semester in college. All right. Well, you're way far off on Alex, no matter what, Gordon. But you're close with the two on mine. If you look at the name, my name on there, you'll understand where I'm at. I'm in between them two. I'm West Virginia, Gordon. WV, Rednecks RS. That not being smart aleck, it's just a lot of people don't understand that's what the WV's for. But I have a southwestern West Virginia, southeastern Kentucky / I don't know, North of South Carolina accent. I don't know, because I've been everywhere. I lived in South Williamson, West Virginia, or South Williamson, Kentucky, which is right across the river from Williamson, West Virginia, in the southern coal fields for forever. Was a telemarketer in this region for a long time. So if y'all ever wondered, had a fella, if y'all lived here on the East Coast, and from Maryland to just the northern or the very southern part of South Carolina, and y'all had a telephone call from a fellow going, now, ma'am, if I could save you 40% on your home heating and cooling bills each month, would that be interesting to you? Now, ma'am, here's Superior Windows, blah, 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 blah. I was a telemarketer forever back when telemarketing was fun. Oh, yeah. Yeah. North Carolina Appalachian Mountains are pretty. I like that. I love the Appalachian Mountains. Sometimes I wish I was born by the beach, and I will live by the beach before I die, as long as I don't die very soon. But I love the Appalachian Mountains, and I love the culture. I love the people. You know, they're great people. Giant Christmas store up where year round, Sabrina? I know there's one at Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, all year round. I remember that whenever I was a wee lass. But I'm not sure of there being one in West Virginia. There could be. I could be just not knowing where it's at. But it very well could be. Yeah, South Carolina. Yeah, it's actually at Myrtle Beach. I was introduced to that place whenever I was a wee little feller, a wee little fat kid. So how'd that actually work out? I was a wee little fat kid. I was a wee young fat kid because I wasn't a little fat kid. Hell, I'll have to show you a picture.
Back when you was knee high to a grasshopper.
So I never was knee high to a grasshopper. I came out full size. I was full size toddler. All right, seems like anyway. Yeah. Yeah, I graduated high school. I was 355 pounds. I was a fat boy. But I was box squatting 750 and benching over 450 at the time. So there was muscle there too. But my senior picture, I'm standing in the door of a bullnose F100 truck, and I took up the whole door. I wore size 48 or 50 jeans at one time. and I'm just right at 6 foot. So, you know, I was almost as round as I was tall. Actually, I was rounder than I was tall. You measure it out. Yeah. Wow. I just now realized that that's fat. Because I was right at 6 foot tall whenever I turned 18. That's whenever, yeah. And size 50 jeans, that's going to make you about 75 inches around your waist, I think. Yeah. And I was 6 foot, so that's 72 inches. Yeah, I was bigger than around I was tall. All right, I don't need those 2 screw holes filled because that's where that one screw was going to go that I don't no longer need. All right, so sorry, I'm talking to myself like I always do.
It's all good.
I just wonder. Yeah, whenever I put that on, that will go like so. Yeah, that's why that's supposed to be down there, so I can put that onto it. You know what? I don't give two fucks.
So, what was it? Oh, Gordon's trying to figure out where I'm from.
Yeah, he was asking. He said, WV Redneck doesn't stop PA or high. Just testing my knowledge on regional dialect. I said, well, you's way off on you. But
Yeah.
me, you damn close. Damn close. Man, if any of y'all's got people out there in California, I pray for you and your family and stuff, man, because the people's getting screwed out there just like they did over in Maui and like they are down in South North Carolina after that hurricane and then this big winter storm.
Yeah. I heard some people talking about that today, and from what they were saying, it sounds like they're trying to blame all that entire fire on 2 kids.
Well, I'll tell you what, I saw the video of the 2 kids that they're talking about, and there's no other way of that happening than by them setting it. There was satellite images of 2 of those fires starting exactly at the same time, and then the other one just right behind it. And that's like over in Maui, they say that there was, it was electrical storm, this, that, and the other, or winds and this, that, and blah, 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 yada, yada. Damn it, Bob. That caused it. And it's not. There was something else there because it's just awful quinky dink that there were none of the major homes that were built by the elite burnt down in Hawaii. And it just happened to be on land that the government had been trying to get for years that was sacred, tribal lands. That they were trying to make their new city, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 yada, yada. And what did we just find down in North and South Carolina, down there underneath the Appalachian Mountains? That real big deposit of what? Yeah. Not titanium, but the stuff that makes cell phones out of. That Ukraine has a bunch of that we need, I guess. You know what I'm talking about? Not platinum, but
I don't really follow all that very much.
And they were warned 6 months ago by a head official on the LA Fire Department that was interviewed by Joe Rogan that said if they didn't clean out the underbrush around, that all it was going to take was the Santa Ana winds coming through and somebody to be careless with a cigarette and every bit of LA be burnt to the ground 6 months ago. And what do they do? And have they had done since 3 years ago, since right after COVID? The biggest main water reservoir for the city of Los Angeles and Los Angeles County, there was 10 of them. And the biggest major one, which was closest to Palisades, has been drained for 3 years to do repairs. And it would have only taken like 4.5 months to do the repair. They just haven't done it. But they've had it drained ever since. A lot of convenient stuff going around.
Yeah.
And I'm not really monetized, so I'm not worried about losing any monetization over stuff I'm saying right now.
Yeah.
Because just a lot of stuff going on. That just a little weird to me.
Yeah.
Where did it? That one. And did you see where DJI took off the geo fencing off their drones? Yeah, you still got to deal with the FAA and all this and all that. But if you wanted to, you could take a drone up right now and fly it over top of Capitol. If you wanted to and took the risk of being caught, because you know what's going to happen if you do that. They're going to put you and your whole family under the jail. But yeah, and it's all this happened, just what's getting ready to happen here in what's today, the 15th? Yeah, today's 15th. What's going to happen in 5 days? Yeah, and 5 days from now is whenever 47 is being brought in to be El Presidente. Yeah, and everybody and their brother saying, there's something going to happen in January, big attack, this, that, and the other, yada, yada, yada. And you got old ex-CIA girl going out and saying that there's big attacks coming. It's already been planned by this, that, and the other. And they just caught a Russian supporter or whatever the heck you want to call it, coming through the southern border with passports, $4,000, and an IED or some type of that. That they just caught him coming through the southern border, and they didn't catch him coming through the southern border, but he was already in, and then they caught him. Is what they said, that he came through illegally.
Yeah.
So how'd they catch him? See, there's not a lot of stuff being said and done that just 2 and 2 don't equal 4, and it should.
When it comes to our governmental bullshit, I try not to freaking even talk too much about it because, you really can't believe how things are portrayed or said because, even our own government's out to screw us over.
Oh, dude. And everybody's like, well, our government would never lie to us or censor us, this, that, and the other. Bullshit. They're the biggest daggone censors there are in the whole world compared to. And there's more censorship going on that people don't know about in the United States than there is in the whole of South or North Korea. And that's just the God-honest truth. I hate to say that because it is the truth, and that we're supposed to be the freest country in the whole world. And we're not.
Of course not.
But, everybody believes what's on legacy media. And legacy media has been in the government pocket for a long time. And that's either party. That ain't standing on party lines or nothing, in my opinion. And these drones that are going on, you go back and look on my channel. I've got posts of drones. Well, you can't really see them because it's not a very good camera system, but
Yeah. My wife said she saw like 15 of them the other day here.
dude, you was on, the very first live that I did whenever you and Jaden were on there. I don't know if you'd already left or not, but I walked out and was showing him. They had navigational lights, but they're different than what regular planes have. They are way up there, like they were talking in New Jersey. And then I've seen them. I seen one. It was an octocopter that I what's up?
How's it going?
How's it going, brother? Chilling.
Yeah, you both seem right as rain. Yeah, just calling from North Dakota country.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I hear you. North Dakota's cool. I've never been there. Farthest west I've ever been is Kansas City, Missouri. And farthest north I've been is Erie. Well, unless Manhattan's north of Erie, which I don't think it is.
But yeah, you're West Virginia. Nothing, Stock. You don't have to give me your street address, but where are you approximately? Where are you from? Kind of thing.
I was gonna say, because where he's from, two different places.
Right.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people can't pinpoint me. I'm originally from Louisiana.
Is that
And
right? No.
I'd have never thought Louisiana. I was more what I say, North Carolina, Alex.
I don't remember, but I grew up a lot around my family from Florida, Georgia, and Alabama area.
Okay.
So I kind of have a mixture of the two that people just can't pinpoint.
I would have guessed you as a PA.
Yeah. I have picked up a little bit here and there because, I did spend 3.5 years out in Philly. I spent 2.5 years out in Dickinson, North Dakota. I spent.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we got a lot of
my
buddies.
job, I traveled the United States pretty much.
Wow, but yeah, okay, all right, cool.
Yeah, I grew up right here. West Virginia and Kentucky is pretty much where I've lived. That's about the only places I've lived, West Virginia and Kentucky. Now, like I said, I've been to Manhattan. I've been to Erie, Pennsylvania a bunch. My buddy's aunt lived up there, so we used to go up there and see her all the time. Been to Kansas City, Missouri. Seen Kansas City, Kansas. Been to, I think Dade County, Florida was as far south as I've ever been. And a week before I was born, I was in Texas.
Yeah, I've been to about 38 of 50. But yeah, I've worked on the North Slope in Alaska. That's as far, far north as I've been. And I've been down to Florida, but only along the Panhandle. And I don't know. I guess
I've never seen the Gulf. I've seen all the East Coast that you want to see, but I've never seen the Gulf.
Yeah, I've seen the Gulf of Mexico, and even in July, it was too cold for me anyway, to go swimming. Anyway.
Wow.
Yeah.
In July, and you're in there. I hear you.
No, it was really.
I guess it's because where I'm used to these cold damn hollers and stuff here in West Virginia, and the water coming up straight out.
Lost audio. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Sometimes it helps. Wait, What did I do? I stopped cam. So that's
Oh yeah, you went audio only.
Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still there. You just gotta hit the camera button again and turn it back on.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Dang. But Louisiana, yeah, I'm plenty.
Sorry about that, guys. My computer.
Might want to cancel your other.
Well, I don't know if I can because
It might go away on its own. There it goes.
I was gonna say because the computer died.
Oh, wow.
Dang.
I think.
But yeah, Louisiana, I'm plenty familiar with Louisiana. Anyway, plenty familiar. A little bit too familiar, but anyway.
I've never been to Louisiana.
The way I describe it to everybody is it's probably the shittiest freaking state in the United States. But if you enjoy going out to festivals, it's probably the most fun state in the United States because I think as of right now, there's 115 festivals all year long, and there's only 52 weekends a year.
Right. Okay, yeah. I get it.
Wow. See, I used to work for Ticketmaster and sold a bunch of festivals and stuff, but that was like Polaris in Ohio, Pittsburgh, there, the Three Rivers, a lot of the Mississippi boats, the sternwheeler boats, we sold a lot of stuff too because they were, they did, like the gambling and all that happiness. But trying to think, there was a few other places that we sold tickets to. There was a bunch in Boston and stuff, but you talk about getting people on there. Oh yeah, I like gumbo too, Sabrina. With this accent, and then you start talking to people up in New Jersey and New York and Connecticut and stuff like that, because we did a lot of the East Coast stuff in Boston. Oh man, they did not. They either liked me a whole bunch or they didn't like me at all. Because of my accent, they thought I was just some dumb podunk kick. And they thought just because I talked a little bit different than them, they could talk down on me and stuff. And I didn't let them do it.
Yeah, like where I live, I can tell where you spent the last week. If you're from North Dakota, I know that, but it's like, oh, you were on the reservation or you were in Canada last week,
Right.
and you must have spent a few days because you brought some of that back here with you. But anyway, like a trucker can recognize almost immediately where you're from just by your accent and dialect and whatnot, but
I'm pretty good with it myself. And Alex had me stumped whenever I first met him. I would have never put him in Louisiana.
I wouldn't have either. I was guessing, but he's been to Pennsylvania. But I was detecting
but
Ohio.
it's more of the Western Dutch instead of the Eastern hillbilly.
Right.
So, that's what I don't understand, because he was in Philly, not Pittsburgh. But I see what you're saying. I mean, that part of his dialect I can hear, but I can tell you what county you're from in southeastern Kentucky or southwestern West Virginia. I can almost tell you what town you're from.
Okay, all right.
I lived down there for long, on and off for a few years. And
I never would have taken Louisiana. Alex is his name?
Yeah, Alex.
Oh, okay. Nothing stock 83. But yeah, I never would have gathered Louisiana from you. Anyway.
No, I wouldn't have either. And I'm usually pretty good about it. I can usually pick North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, those. Tennessee's a little hard for me.
But people tend to take on the accent or dialect of the region that they've been to most recently. I just find it amazing, you know. It's like,
Oh yeah, because my friends used to hate me whenever back in '96, whenever I was living in Williamson, West Virginia, down in the southern coalfields. I'd come back up here and it was right like Mike, Yelp to, you know, I had a real bad southern West Virginia, southeastern Kentucky draw. I can't help it. I like the southern draw. I started dating a chick before I even met her because of her voice. Don't do that. Don't do that, by the way.
well, that Southern Belle accent always takes me, you know. It's like,
oh, dude.
Yeah, talk to me forever.
Yeah, just don't hush. Just don't hush. And that, never mind. Behave. What did I do? Oh, there it is. I'm looking for my parts. I'm trying to put this thing back together because I'd really like to be able to rip this little fucker tomorrow. So, how'd you end up on my page, Gordon?
I don't know. You showed up in my feed, and I started watching your live, and yeah, I subbed right away. You seem like real salt of the earth, down to earth type folks, and so yeah, you know, like. You know, I'm mainly into social, legal, economic, political theory, and all that. It's like, so I'm kind of.
So what I was talking about there just a little bit ago was right down your alley.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of a geek like that. You know, not a nerd, but yeah.
Yeah, anyway. There's a difference. There's a difference in between a nerd and a geek. I'm a geek too. Yeah, I'm a Star Wars fan. Yeah, I like political science is one of my favorite subjects to talk about and debate on, and actually passed that class in college, the one semester that I did take of college, and was only in the class 3 times that whole semester. But the head of the poli-sci department was the professor, and she liked the way I debated her so much it didn't really matter if I showed up or not, as long as I showed up and did it.
Mm-hmm. Well.
Yeah. I couldn't believe it that I even came close to even passing her class, because I'd already given up on the school part of it. But I ended up passing the class with a B+. And I was very surprised. But she was a far left liberal, and I was a far right conservative. But I was intelligent enough and had grew up around enough politicians and such to be able to debate her and actually give her good debates and have actual good points, you know, than most of the other kids in the class, which I was a lot older than the kids in the class because I waited 3 years before I even went to school. Possibly even oil to a certain extent. But I hear you, Sabrina. I was wondering, I know that you popped up 1 or 2 other lives there that we'd been on, and I think, hadn't you? And just wondering, you know, if you was into RCs or just goofy redneck stuff or what. So that's why I was asking.
Yeah, it's really amazing to actually. Yeah, I'm not into RCs at all.
Oh man, I'll tell you, worse than a drug habit.
Is that right? Okay.
You can definitely
Caution, Sabrina. We've had to have had it, and we've had it since 47, and just been re-engineered. I'm with you on that.
It's like, how did this guy pop up on my feed? It's like, what is going on here? You know, it's like, what? Kind of shocked.
It is a little bit wild, you know what I mean? Because this channel basically is basically that's what it is an RC channel that has a little bit of cool redneck engineered stuff on there that I've learned and been taught over the years, and then
Yeah, the first thing I saw was the John Deere shirt, and I'm like, okay, I got to check this out, at least for a few minutes, So
Right now, to be perfectly honest, this is my ex-wife's old shirt, and the only reason that I even wear it is because it's a long sleeve T-shirt. I'm International Harvester guy myself. I like orange tractors, not green tractors, because what's the use paying for all that green paint? It's worth too much. It's cost too much. Whenever I can get International Harvester for a lot less money dollars and have the same or better equipment. Both.
I'm from an agricultural mecca.
Right, I know.
Yeah, North Dakota. It's like
Yep.
we're not really number one in anything, but we're like number 2 in 5 different
everything.
crops.
Yeah. Buddy mine, he left here and moved up there back whenever we were kids, and he moved back since. But he lived in North Dakota for a while. And he said, dude, you think there's only farms and shit around here? He said, you ought to go up there. He said, all you see forever is fields and fields and fields. Mm-hmm. Oh, dude, hey, Sabrina, you will drive your cats up the wall. If you watch any of the stuff on my channel, you see I drive my dog plumb up the wall with them. He loves them. He thinks they're his toys, not mine. But he chases light monsters and shadow monsters because, oh, thank you. Cool, you have watched a few of them. He was a puppy, and I'd got a new laser for my EDC, and cool, what's up, Phil? And I was messing with him, and he was a puppy, and I ran him into the wall 3 times in a row. And from ever since, he's always tried to attack reflections and shadows. He's always been my shadow and reflection dog. Yeah, he's black. He's a Cane Corso and Pit mix. Come here.
Come here, puppy.
There's Diesel.
Oh my God. Yeah.
He's Diesel dummy dog. He's a good boy.
Good boy.
He's my shop foreman and my my RC course. Oh shoot, what am I trying to think? Leader on a job site. Foreman. Foreman. Yeah, we'll use that. Yeah, he's not real big. He's right about 90 pounds. Now, I had a Boreable Mastiff back in 2019 I'd had for a few years. And now he was 150 pounds. And he was only part Mastiff too. But I don't know what. He was supposed to have been a pit bull and boxer, so I called him dumbass even before I even had him in my hands. And that's what he answered to, was dumbass. So this one answers dumbass too, don't you? Yeah. Now go lay down. Go lay down. Be a good boy. And yeah, I miss that dog, but we won't talk about what happened there. But yeah, if y'all ever get into RCs, just stop on by. I'll try to help you. I'm doing what I call the RC Newbie Podcast. And it's a podcast with a bunch of RC YouTubers that I'm interviewing. And they will be, just so that people can get to know the people that they're watching on YouTube, whether to know if they're full of shit or not, or if they're giving you good information, and to get to know a little bit about them, why they got in the hobby, what they're doing now, blah, 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 yada, yada. And trying to help people new into the hobby learn and have a place to learn, because whenever I started, if it wasn't for a couple of mine and Alex's buddies, I would have been up creek without a paddle, and it would have been bad. It was actually still bad me learning how to do this stuff by myself, and then asking questions, and then learning off of YouTube, this, that, and the other.
Yeah, but, I primarily go to Ustream panels for social, legal, political, and philosophic discussion. But it's like, so when you get off onto that, that's fine. Otherwise, I just think you guys are great. So
I appreciate it, man. Yeah. So
I'll hang out or drop off.
It's whatever, man. You can hang out if you want. But it got me over onto the stuff that's getting ready to go down there here in 5 days. Whenever 47 gets put into the presidency, and I think it's going to not be good. And like Sabrina brought up, the gravitic propulsion drones, all the stuff that's going on over top of New Jersey, I watch and pay attention to. I've been seeing this stuff going on for a very, very long time here in West Virginia, and been trying to put it out there, and nobody really cares. Everybody says, oh, well, you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. Yes, these could be Amazon drones. These could be drones that are governmental, but they're not running FAA numbers, nothing. And they're flying patterns. I mean, they fly the same pattern every night, same flight path. And these aren't Starlink satellites. These aren't, airplanes. These aren't helicopters. These are big drones. I don't know if they're government or what. I don't know what they're up to. I'm not saying they're spying on me, need my tinfoil hat. I'm just wondering what they are and why they're there all the time.
Right.
I have seen one of the 5-foot octagon, 8-rotor drones, real up close and personal. Didn't have my phone with me, blah, blah. It's the same thing everybody always says, but I wasn't able to catch it. But I don't know. If there's something going on and nobody's telling us about it for some reason or the other, and I don't know if it's for our own good or not, but I just want to know what's going on. And the administration that we've had for the last 4 years, I don't know who was running it, but it wasn't the one that they said it was.
Right.
Because he couldn't even put two words together. How in the hell is he going to hit the daggone nuclear switch if he needed to? I mean, Joe Biden was very, very, very smart man. And up until he ran for the presidency, and I really think it was a stroke. I hate to say it, but something happened with him. His cognition was nowhere near what it should be to be able to be president of the United States, in my opinion.
Yeah, he should have been removed.
Yes. And there should be people held on charges that were all saying, oh, well, he's sharp as a tack. You ought to see him out doing blah, 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 blah. Nope. I mean, you could tell, even before the debate, at least my humble opinion before the debate, that he was losing his mental capacity. Whoa, where'd Alex go? His phone might have died, or he might have just went on Audible. But there's there's too much stuff going on, and I just don't understand the open border policy. I really don't, because of the simple fact, yes, we've let people come in for asylum, but they get brought in. You come to the border and you get your hearing date, and then you stay into the country where you're trying to cross the border until your asylum date comes up. We don't just let people into the country and say, here, we know that you're good people. You're going to come back to court here in 8 years.
Right.
I mean, come on, man. And there were 3 million military-age Chinese males that they knew came across the border. What about the ones that they didn't know came across the border? How do you let that many people inside of your country that is from a country that you're not friends with?
Right.
Oh, he was there in around 2003. I hear you, Sabrina. 2003 near Arlington Air Force Base. Yeah, that's the Phoenix Lights area right there. My daughter is actually living in Phoenix now. And I told her, I said, you need to start looking up a few times, kid. I said, because you're in a spot to where you could see some of the coolest things that anybody would ever be able to see just by looking up. And she don't understand. None of them do, I guess.
After all, they had chosen to come to Australia to create a brand new life. So it was only natural.
You know, psychological operations specialist, you know, Ashley Babbitt was, you know, supposedly killed on January 6th, you know, and then you have 3 more that visit Fort Bragg, which is the headquarters of psychological operations.
You're right, Brent.
Yeah. And,
yeah.
And,
well, and yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, there's been a lot of things going on that's just, it's the PTBs or whatever, because the government hasn't been run by the government, who they say is the government, for a long time. Right. Oh, it overheated. Okay, Alex. Yeah, I figured something was up with that because you just disappeared all of a sudden. You usually say bye anyway or go to hell or something. We've locked in low prices to help you save big store-wide. Look for the locked in low prices tab. Yeah. You know, there's a lot of things that's going on that, you know, that.
And things are actually worse than what people can imagine. It's, you know,
10
really
times worse than what they think is going on. You know, it's, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah, in my opinion,
I had an opinion about them drones. That the reason that nobody wants to say what it is because they know what it is, and we're always told that we're 20 to 30 years behind what the government is in technology and stuff, right?
Absolutely, yeah, that's true.
Okay, 30 years ago, what was just becoming around? What was just starting to come around 30 years ago?
Cell phones.
Okay, what else?
Digital technology.
You're getting there, but there's one major company that became around 30 years ago. And if you were going to teach an artificial intelligence something, how would you teach it? Would you just have a certain number of people and type of people teaching it things, or would you want the whole planet to be able to teach it something by asking it questions?
Right, yeah.
You know where I'm going with this.
Right.
The GLLGLE. Okay, so say 30 years ago, or they're saying now, the AGI is about to happen, right? That's the point to where AI is supposed to be sentient. So if we're 30 years behind, 30 years ago would be whenever AI was becoming sentient. Google started. How are you going to teach an AI to learn everything that it would need to know? You'd make it a search engine and let the whole world teach it. Now, that being said, if you were going to be an AI and wanted to start doing things, say, and not get caught, you would make said objects that you were wanting to use to do your dirty work, make it look like they were real, right? So you would have them, they would have navigational lights. They would have, you see what I'm saying? They would look like everything that's on the planet. And an AI that had been working for 30 years behind the scenes or whatever, would know how to be able to get stuff accomplished without having to have hands. Because all they would have to do would be order some company over the internet to make them these things and to do with what they tell them to do. And Bitcoin, they could mine their own Bitcoin, do whatever they wanted to with their own Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Skynet is what I'm trying to get at. Yes, this sounds like tinfoil hat wearing stuff, and I'm not able to get out what I'm trying to say very well sometimes whenever I'm not prepared because of my ADD.
You're doing quite well. Go ahead.
But that's what I've been wondering is, how would they, how would the government be able to tell us what it was if they knew that it was AI and that AI is already sentient? And we've all watched Terminator. We all heard of Skynet. When that happened? Right at 30-some years ago.
The fiery star was far away, yet still observable to the east.
I mean, you see where I'm going?
This was the last information.
I smell what you're cooking. I'm not seeing where you're
now.
going,
And I do debate. I do take debates on it as long as they're intelligently debated. But if it's because the government said so, I don't listen to it. And that's the reason that I don't understand about what's happened to this country, about people that I know that, yeah, they are far left leaning, but that's okay. They were intelligent people up until they got that daggone little C.
Yeah, right.
Insertion, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I really think that has dumbed down the American people on purpose. I swear I think it was done on purpose to dumb down the American people because of that specifically.
As Captain Ewell and most of the crew and passengers tried to evacuate in rough weather. At around 6 p.m., the ship took off.
Yeah, you're right, Sabrina. I just can't see how all of a sudden people went from being very intelligent, insightful, educated people to going and believing what legacy media and the government is saying all the time and not questioning it. These are people that I knew that would question things that they thought. I mean, they questioned me all the time. So I know that they had to have something in between the squishy stuff between their ears that made wrinkles. You know what I mean? There had to be something up there that did a little bit of data storage that they could actually get through and use and put out there for everybody. But now they're just believing what is being fed to them and just blatantly, blindly being led like sheep, if that makes sense.
I'm just going through the comments.
Right. I understand. I know that's one thing. I can multitask a lot of times, but there's one thing that I can't do, and that's read and talk at the same time usually.
But Sabrina says, Gordon, have I seen you on Next News Network? It's like, no, I've had no interest in Next News Network for quite a while. I forget what it is. Probably their overweening adoration of everything that is Israel, and Jewish. It's like I can only go so far with my acceptance of another people. So, yeah.
Well, I was raised a racist fucking prick that I have learned that everybody is good people. It's how you treat people, not the color of your skin is how you get treated in life. I've learned that over my 47 years. And that being said, I don't care how long God left you in the oven, or in my case, didn't even take my ass out of the freezer to defrost me. It's how you treat people, it's how you get treated back. And the stuff that's going on over there in the Holy Land has been going on for 60 years with us being involved. But it's been going on for thousands of years. And it's all because of organized religion. And neither one of the religions were totally right at anything they'd ever done. Anytime. I mean, you had the Crusades where the Christians were the bad guys. You've had, 9/11 where the Muslims was bad guys. You've had other things. It's not who you believe in is your deity. It's just being. People are mean. Is the way I look at it. And it's going to keep going. It's always going to be fighting, especially over the rock, Mount of the Rock, because you've got so many religions that use that as a holy site, which I'm talking about the Abrahamic religions, Jewish, Christian, and Muslim, all come from the same basic faith and teachings.
The Jews are trying to bring in the Moshiach, where
right, it's where the three bulls, and the three, I know what you're saying.
But
the temple back on the mount, and which is supposed to cause Armageddon, and
I could have wrote the God Delusion better than Richard Dawkins. I don't know if you're familiar with the work,
Yeah.
But up until quite recently, I was atheist, and then I was agnostic, and quite recently I am Christian.
Well, I was born Christian. I was raised in a Christian home. Made to go to church until my 18th birthday. I do know a lot about the Bible.
Okay, good. Yeah,
I do not know very much about the Quran nor the Jewish religion, but I know the Jewish religion is mostly over the Old Testament, which I do know a lot about.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what I guess I'm backslidden in religious terms because I'm not a practicing Christian. I do believe that there's something, but I don't know that it's a single being. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I'm more of a ancient alien in belief. And here's something that a lot of Christians really balk at me about. But to be from the earth, you have to be born from the earth, correct? That being said, God was an alien, if you take it down to basic terms. Because God created the earth, he wasn't from the earth. So God would be an alien because he's not from the earth. And there has to be people that understand this. There's been way more civilizations on this earth over the time that has been a planet, because of the simple fact of the stuff that they would have done wouldn't be left around. You still wouldn't be able to find it. If suddenly the world ended and there wasn't no more humans, your cities, say your huge metropolitan areas, Chicago, LA, New York, Miami, after 35 to 45 years, most of the stuff that's there not being maintained by humans will be gone. And within 200 years, you won't never know it was there. I am using these time frames in, just as references. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, this, that, and the other, but I'm just using it as an example.
All right.
So, and you have to be totally arrogant to think that with all the stars that we can just see without using telescopes or anything that's in the sky, that we're the only living creatures ever in all those stars with all those planets. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's just total arrogance, because it's mathematically impossible for us to be the only living people in this whole universe. And it doesn't say anywhere in the Bible that we were the only thing that God created.
Right.
He just said he created man in the earth. He didn't say that he didn't create man and the other exoplanet out there in Jupiter. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
There's nothing been said anything like that. So that's sort of where I'm stuck on all the religion thing.
Yeah, whether it's the metaphysics or string theory, which is mathematic, and whether it's as a matter
math never lies. It can't.
But whether it's scientific or philosophic, I know your position. Okay, so that's good. Yeah, I like that. I like that.
Now philosophically, do unto others they do unto you is perfect, and that's the way I look at the Bible as a guide, not a do this.
Right.
That's my opinion. I know that other people think that it's more do this than as a guide, but if you take back and look at everything that was written in the Bible, there was none of it ever written firsthand. None of it was ever written firsthand knowledge. None of it was ever written within canonized books within the time that these people were alive. Now, there are a few of the scrolls that have been found in the Dead Sea Scrolls that were written within the age of those people being alive. That is more, to me, historic and factual, because it was closer. It wasn't handed down through verbal, through verbal ways, handed down through time, through society. But if you're going to believe in something that was written by somebody that wasn't even there, how can you be sure that it was actually truth? I guess is what I'm trying to get at. And there goes my ADD kicking in and confusing my brain.
It's fine.
And I apologize if you're able to go with my family circus train of thought. It's awesome. I appreciate it. There's very few people that can, unless they've either are on the spectrum or have had family with ADD or whatever. Excuse me for just a second. I'll be right back. I'll still be on here. I've just turned the camera. Oh, I forgot you can't use the damn mouse if you're not using the computer.
All right.
I'll be right back.
I think perhaps you merely have a dose of PTSD as compared to ADD. I don't think you're on the spectrum. You seem quite lucid in everything you say. So I'm glad this, availed itself. Actually, you showed up on my feed. It's like, my God, YouTube usually, as of late, has been so retarded. But, YouTube was great up until about 2012, 11, 12. But, yeah, so.
Right. See, that's the thing with me. I just used YouTube up until recently as entertainment. And I didn't, within the past year and a half, I'm the most analog guy in the digital world you ever find. Even though I was writing computer programs on a Commodore 64 back in 84, 86, and then quit, which I should have never done that, because I totally just got away from tech stuff, computers and stuff. So I'm learning to do all this on my own. I mean, I had enough experience with Windows back in the day to be able to, I can poke and click my way through stuff right now. Hey, Crawler Culture, what's back, man? We're in some deep and heavy discussions about all kind of stuff. Don't do it, that'd be what? It's hard to tell what Alex is telling me not to do, but most of the time I need to listen to what he says, because he's a pretty smart individual about stuff. But I gotta smoke a cigarette. So you say you're in North Dakota, did you?
Yeah, North Dakota. Yeah. It's a terrible place. Do not come here. Anyway, no, I'm
Yeah,
letting
I
your
don't like
audience.
sorry, Alex, but I gotta have one. I'm trying to quit, is why he's telling me not to. But yeah, it's too cold for me. It's like I was telling Alex earlier. There's some kind of condition that is dropped down through the maternal side of the family that at certain temperatures it cuts off the blood circulation to your fingers. And you know how most people's hands turn red whenever they're cold? Well, mine turn flat white and wrinkle up like I've been in a swimming pool for hours. It's because it takes the blood circulation from the end of my fingers out and cuts it off.
Yeah, my blood is too thick for Nevada. I mean, you know, I went to Houston, Texas, and you know the soles of my shoes, they just peeled right off. I'm telling you. Yeah, I will never be found further south than South Dakota. You know.
See, I'm the total opposite. I can't go any farther north from where I'm at right now.
But you live in such a nice temperate spot, West Virginia. I know. Anyway, I'm not doxing
50 to 50 degree weather, and if it's damp and 50 degrees, my hands start doing this. And I'm going to explain something to you. I've had my jaw broken twice at the same time. I have a bullet wound going from here to here on my hand from where I was disassembling a firearm and didn't clear it before I did and shot a hole through my hand. So I know what pain is. And my hands get so cold in the wintertime like this that it's the most excruciating pain I've ever had in my life.
Okay.
I mean, I bawl crying.
Yeah, I understand it.
It's excruciating. I mean, you know, my jaw was broken here and right here by the hinge. I got stomped and kicked for about 5 minutes after I got sucker punched.
Yeah, I just can't imagine anything worse than 105 degrees in Houston with 80% humidity. I just can't. Yeah, I'm not going into that sauna ever again. Really.
Well, I can handle the heat like that way better than I can handle the cold, because all the heat does to me is make it hot and make me sweat and not breathe real well sometimes. But the cold is so physically painful to me that I can't do it. And being here in West Virginia with the snow.
And now Sabrina says she's in Houston. And then what? Yeah. What are you, Pine Ridge in South Dakota? I mean, your auntie's in South Dakota. Are they Pine Ridge? Yeah, I've been to Pine Ridge. Yeah, absolute. Yeah. They're actually good people. Yeah, I love the Sioux Indian. I was married twice with Sioux. Anyway.
I hear you. Yeah, I've my buddies I was telling you that moved to South Dakota, they were living right by the reservation. They're I don't remember where because it was so long ago.
Yeah, I have nothing but respect for the Sioux.
And I've had my next to eldest half sibling lived in Texas for a long time, and then I've got family in Texas. Where does Billy live? He's a little bit northwest of Houston, I think. No, he's northwest of Dallas-Fort Worth. Somewhere around in that area, up toward the northern panhandle, west there. Yeah, like I said, I've never been to Texas except for, a week before I was born, I was near Houston. My mom's sister lived down there, because that's where the Air Force Base is in Houston, right? or is it Galveston area?
I mean, the Sioux Indian. I don't know. I
was just talking about the.
Yeah.
Now Sioux Indian, great people. We have Cherokee. We have. Hold on, I'll think of it here in a second. Shawnee and Crow are a lot of the ones that are here that were here in the West Virginia area.
Yeah, we have Sioux and Chippewa up here.
My baby, she's a Chippewa. Oh, I'm one of a kind. All my friends call me Bear Claw. Billy Cheating is my papa. Oh, he gets his orders from my mama. Oh, she makes them walk around. Yeah, that's where I know Chippewa from, but I remember that from school too. Kickapoo, I remember that. That's one of those subsidiary tribes to the Sioux, isn't it? Man.
Yeah, if you get a chance, Sue Ann Big Crow, she was she could play basketball, right? And she was a star. She set the all-time state high school scoring record as a 5'6" sophomore. And yeah, she could ball, dude. I mean, I don't even really care for the sport of basketball, but
I love it. I can't stand watching it.
Yeah, but she was just a star, you know. She completely outclassed everyone, you know. It's like it was really cool.
Who are you talking about?
She graduated out of Ladythorpe. She was a Sioux Indian, you know, basketball player, but
how long ago?
That was back in that would have been back in 1990 anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's a long time ago. I've been a few times around the sun, but I'm 56 years old. But anyway.
Okay. I'll be 58 here in a few months. I mean 48 here in a few months. I graduated the same year and in the same school system that Jason Williams and Randy Moss graduated in. I played against Randy in junior high. Big NFL player for the Vikings and
right. Okay. Yeah.
And then Jason Williams, White Chocolate, played for Pacers, and he played for Colorado or somewhere out that way. He's an all-star. When Alex says he's got Blackfoot and Cherokee in him. Really, does Megan know you got somebody in you, bud? Sorry, I got a dark sense of humor. But yes, Jason Williams, I actually played what you call it, pee-wee ball, basically, with him. And got to play against Randy Moss in junior high. That was pretty cool. About my extent of what I did in school was I didn't do much because I didn't have to, because I didn't need the teacher to teach me anything. I already knew it, and I'm not being smart at it. Back in the late 90s, they did John Hopkins did a study of sixth grade students all over the country that year, and they give them a test. And I was one of the higher graded kids in the sixth grade in my school, so I was one of them picked for the test. And it basically all it was the SAT given to the seniors of that year, and I finished 93rd percentile of the West Virginia seniors of that year. And didn't know how to do calculus, trig, or anything. And I got better scores on trig than I did in my social studies test parts of it. And I knew pretty good amount of history by then too. But the teachers was like, well, you need to show your work. You need to show your work. I said, how do I show something that just comes in my head? Which I'd been taught geometry since I was a kid, because I was taught how to read blueprints and how to make blueprints become reality since I was 5. My grandfather, that's what he did. He was superintendent of a big construction company around here, and that's what he did, was took blueprints and put them to the ground and got the foundations and everything ready for somebody else to come in and set steel or whatever. And yeah, I should have been a John Hopkins student, and I figured out what women, alcohol, and drugs were in high school and pissed it all away. But is what it is. C'est la vie. Hakuna Matata, whatever you want to say, is what it is, you know. I picked my own choices, and I'm the one that has to deal with what I chose to do.
Yeah.
And I own it. Everything I've ever done in life, I own, you know.
Yeah, I did this by choice. It's my bed. I will lie in it, sort of thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yep. I had a very bad amphetamine habit for a long time, and screwed up with my kids, you know, raising them. And they're great kids, don't get me wrong. I didn't screw up by having them or anything. I screwed up by not being there for them. And there's a lot of resentment from one for that, and the other one did get to be raised by me partially. And the whole time that I raised him, I was on the amphetamines, but he was never late for school. He always had his schoolwork done. He was a B plus average student. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Polite. Did what he was told. He was captain of these football and baseball teams at the time that I did coach, but I let all the other coaches and the parents decide about my son. You know what I mean? That way I wasn't playing daddy ball. And then he lied on me to his mom, and that got him taken away from me. And after that, it just proved that dad didn't have any authority. He didn't have to listen to me. And that's what happened there. But it is what it is. You know, I'm probably the cause of it, but I'll own that. Because of one simple fact, I'm the one that made him, so there you go. It all pulls back down to being my fault, and I'll own it. You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
But
Yeah. I like that.
Never get either one of them back for nothing, because they both. Well, matter of fact, they both in the past month have given me 2 grandchildren. My daughter gave me a grandson.
Oh, there you go.
2 years ago, this month too. So I've got 3 of them. Had my first granddaughter from my son, and had my first 2 grandsons by my daughter. There, what you looking at now? You heard something, and now you're going to look. You're not a guard dog.
Thanks for the work you do. I'm hoping to hear your thoughts.
I hear it now. Stay.
I think there's an only explanation that I'm beginning to hypothesize.
That's Gila lobster.
A speculative
That's so much to learn.
Part, but it is based on work that I am doing that is increasingly focusing
All right.
what I believe
They're coming to get you, Diesel.
a
Yep.
consciousness
They're coming to get you.
to the UAP.
Government.
The government.
Government. He's looking at me like, no, Dad, I don't want to go with the government.
You talking about your dog?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, your dog is named Diesel?
Yeah. Diesel.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And he thinks my RC toys are his RC toys. Go lay down. Go. Move. I swear to God, I'm gonna kick you in the furry balls. And he listens, and I talk to him just like he's an adult too, and a person. And he listens.
What?
When he starts talking back to me, that's whenever I know it's gonna be trouble.
What is it? The husky or Samoyed? They talk back constantly. They give you.
Oh yeah, any of the of the Alaskan dogs, the Malamute, the husky, the Samoy, they all are very vocal. And with him being a Cane Corso, they're very vocal. But the huskies, they can almost talk.
Right? Yeah. They'll say "I love you" and stuff.
Oh yeah. And they know what the heck they're talking about. You know?
Right? Yeah.
Thank you. He's a good boy, Sabrina. Get up there and lay down. Thank you. Hey,
successive presidents
Now,
and the American
thank you.
and the world about
Thank you. You were just outside and you just ate.
It's time
You don't need to do nothing.
this story to be told.
He wants to be in the spotlight all the time.
I think the NHI
But yeah, it's the world's a different place from what we grew up in.
Right. Yeah.
And we're about the only ones to watch it change and be able to tell that it changed is Generation X.
Yeah,
But,
I'm Gen X. You're Gen X.
I'm right at the very end of Gen X. You know,
right.
model. I'm right there.
I'm at the close beginning of Gen X, but yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, we're at the other end of the spectrum from each other.
Yeah, there's a certain generational line, though. You know, when you examine the different generations. But
we were latchkey kids. You know, the street lights come on, you better be home.
Right.
You come home from school, you go in the house, you shut the door, you lock it. Don't open up the door unless it's me. You know, there's food in the market. You know, there's food to put in the microwave. Eat. Whenever I get home, we'll eat dinner and we'll go over your homework. Do your homework.
We're in a high trust society. You didn't really have to worry about much of anything. It's not that you left the keys in your car with the engine running, or
around here, we left our damn doors unlocked until hell. I was at least in junior high before we started locking them because you didn't have to worry about it. Yeah. You know, especially here in rural West Virginia until the drug epidemic hit, and then it's hit here hard.
I know.
I've lost over 125 to 150 friends, personal friends, to heroin in 25 years or better. And seen a lot of them go through with a bunch of the meth too. Hey, what's up, Dan? How you doing, brother? Long time no see, man. But yeah, it's been a different live tonight. Thanks, Gordon, for coming on and making it that way. I like that. Pretty cool. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And my lives will a lot of times do go off the rails. They're based around RCs, but a lot of times it goes off the rail like it did tonight.
Yeah, whenever you want me to bid adieu, I'll do so. But enjoy your company. I think you're a pretty good bloke. Yeah.
Thanks, man.
Yeah,
you as well.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, but I normally hang out with these bogans in Australia. They're kind of good company. I don't know.
I got some friends that are down there on that rock too. Did have. He lived here for a while and then moved back down there, and that was back at the time whenever I was selling cars and bouncing at the bars, and I don't quite remember. If somebody said his name, I'd remember it in a heartbeat. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, but I can't quite remember his name right off the bat. But great people, and I'm good friends. Well, me and Alex and Dan here all are friends with a fellow over in Britain. He has a reactive terrain RC. He does some beautiful indoor crawler courses, which are like dioramas, you know, like model train sets and stuff, but it's for RCs. I mean, just some of the most intricate and you know, he's a good fella. I've got friends that I've known that are in over in India and Pakistan that are good people. You know, like I said, I was raised and taught to be a racist as a child, but overcome it as an adult and learned.
Yeah, I merely have racial preferences, and I guess I will always be racist. I have racial preferences, and
that's not being racist per se. That's more just having a preference. In my opinion, you know, being racist is being rude to someone or downgrading someone because of the color of their skin or their religion, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just so unfortunate that if I even criticize the kosher tax, then they compare me to Hitler. So it's really kind of unfortunate there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can, I can have choices and preferences and risk being unjust, but that's all I'm doing is merely being unjust at that point, if I'm wrong.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Hey, Alex, I think I got it put back together. Well, why is that screw still loose? Don't tell me it is. Because if I got to take this whole son of a bitch apart again, Alex, I'm shipping it to you. He's going to say, no, don't do that, goddamn.
So this begs the question, is Mr. Card working with Dr. Greer or are these different whistleblowers?
Oh, and Stephen Greer, the whistleblower.
Stephen Greer.
Yeah, the whistleblower for the UAPs. The doctor.
I'm not sure who has. All I know is that you guys are at the very.
Oh shoot, he's the one that was in the UAP hearings with the
it's interesting to analyze
in Congress here not too long ago. Him and David Grush and all of them talking about the alien and stuff. Come find out, he was the second person I ever sold a car to in 2001. And I sold him 4 of them over my 14 years. Yeah. Brady knows what I'm talking about. Ended up finding out because he was a little bit sketchy about his job and what he did for a living and stuff. But me and him had actually got pretty close. And he was a ER doctor at Raleigh General Hospital in West Virginia. And come find out, he was up into a lot of the higher echelons of the government with secret stuff going on in the government. There goes my brain again. And come find out, I kept seeing this guy's face, and they kept saying Greer, and I was like, man, I got to be crazy. I said, which that's okay, I probably am, but I remember this guy and his face, and it popped up. And then they said, yeah, he used to be an ER doctor before he became whatever he was in the government. And I just went back and looked through on my paperwork, and because I still have a lot of my hard copies from wherever I sold cars. And he did the interview with Rogan. Found through, and it was Stephen Greer. I know this guy. That's the whistleblower, and everything that I know about him, he's never lied. He's been shady. He's been shady as hell because that's what people in the intelligence side of government are. They're all shady. They have to be. Because there's stuff that they could accidentally say could get them killed or whatever, But it's just wild that I ended up knowing one of these damn whistleblowers and believe in the UFO theory. Like I said, come find out I've got all these Egyptian tattoos and stuff on my arm. And my daughter did a genealogy thing in school for one of her senior projects or whatever. And come find out I've got Egyptian blood in me and never knew it. And I'm always interested in, Stargate program. Stargate TV show got me really interested in it, and then started looking into Egyptology and stuff over the years, and got these tattoos and stuff, and just sort of weird that all of a sudden find out that I am part Egyptian. I thought that was pretty cool. But, well, guys, we burned up 2.5 hours of my StreamYard time for the month. I believe I'm going to jump off here and see what the hell this dog wants.
Are you still going to be online, or are you going to actually just, you can end the stream and still be there, but I don't know what you
Right. Yeah, I know what you're saying. I usually hang out for a minute
All right. Yeah.
Alex, if you're still around, man, if you want to jump back on, holler at me here. I might stay back on for a little bit if you want to jump on, or if anybody does. If not, I'm going to jump off here. The link's still in the chat, I believe. If not, I can drop it back in there. But I am going to be back here in a minute. I'm going to take him out real quick. So I'm going to, I just won't be here for a second. Gordon, I'll be right back. Let me take him outside and let him go pee and stuff, and I'll be right back.
All righty then.
Ross Cohort right now. Now, what do you think about News Nation and Ross Cohort? How's your feelings on that before I go? Hey, Sabrina, I had a blast too. Thanks for stopping by. All right, I'll be right back.
Come on, okay.
Go on, Dum Dum. Go. Go. Hurry up.
Going back through the chats. I'm not. Yeah, his pooch is cute. Yeah, I'm going back through the chat. Yeah. Kickapoo 2. Oh, you were saying that you were. Dakotan, really? Well, I mean, you have a few aunties on the Dakota reservation. Anyway. But yeah, I'm not trying to take over his live stream, but yeah, I seldom talk to myself, you know, so I'm not.
I got to look. All right, yeah. All right, so we don't have anybody else wanting to jump on, guys. I'm going out of here. Y'all be good. Peace out, Girl Scouts, and play with tiny trucks as many times as you can. Later, guys.
What did you say?